take one size 12 busy mom with a weakness for
Pasta, pasta, pasta.
Add 3 clever cooks willing to share their skinny secrets. Allow 6 weeks to drop a dress size, and you've got a recipe to cook yourself thin. Want to know how to indulge and still lose the bulge? We're gonna show you how. By revamping your favorite foods and cutting the calories without sacrificing the flavor. We're gonna teach you how to cook yourself thin. Our challenge today, recreating a carb craver's favorites like pasta Primavera, chicken parmesan, and oatmeal cookies. Meet Alice, a typical New York working mom. She juggles a husband, a 4-year-old daughter, and a full-time job, which doesn't leave much room on the schedule for herself.
I have been known to eat popcorn for dinner, sometimes candy.
The carbs are how she finds comfort. And even though real estate in a New York kitchen is pretty tight, she's got an entire pantry dedicated to starchy goodness.
I love pasta. I could eat it every day.
Alice wants desperately to get rid of her tortellini tummy. But more importantly, she wants to teach her daughter a healthier way of eating.
It's not just about losing weight for me, it's about being healthier. The most important factor is for me to be healthy for my family. With some help, I know that I can do it and turn things around.
Hi, Alice.
Hi.
All right, so a few of your favorite foods, pasta, chicken parm, oatmeal cookies, comfort foods, I get it. But you can't take comfort in this.
I can.
Well, what's less comforting, though, is the fact that all of these combined come up to 2,270 calories, which
Not
is
good.
too much, exactly. What's your ideal weight?
At most 140.
Okay, so 140. Your ideal calorie intake should therefore be 10 times 140. So that's 1,400 a day.
Okay, so how many cookies is that?
Not very many, I'm afraid.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna revamp every single one of these things, so we're not gonna compromise your favorite foods for flavor and taste. We're just doing simple swap outs. So you ready? All right, let's go, ladies. So Alice, I promise you I'm not gonna take away your pasta. I'm gonna make you a beautiful pasta Primavera, which I know you love, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but what we don't love is all the cream and butter that's kind of hiding. It's actually concealed by some of the vegetables that they put in that dish.
That's why it tastes so good.
Very tricky, I know. Well, do you like asparagus?
I'm a big asparagus fan.
Huge fan. Okay, great. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start snapping just the rough woody ends off of these. If you would like to help me, that would be great. So fresh. I also am just going to get a few cuts on this, just like so. And Allison's got a beautiful red onion over here. I'm loving it. I feel like a lot of people don't get enough vegetables in their diet, and we're kind of substituting everything else with the veggies, you know? These in here.
Alice, I hear you have a pasta closet at home. Is this
I
true?
have a pasta collection at home. Yes, I do. From lasagna noodles to penne, you name it, you'll find an entire catalog of pasta.
closet.
Yes,
It's a staple in your house.
it is.
I've got a trick for you, some chicken stock right here. We're gonna add this to our asparagus instead of adding oil or fat, and that's just gonna give you a lot of flavor, and we're just kinda let that simmer.
Wow, the no oil is such a foreign concept.
Very.
Is it really? You cook with a
I
lot
have
of
a
oil?
heavy hand with olive oil.
We're swapping out your butter and oil for a little bit of chicken stock because it adds so much flavor without a lot of calories. And we're actually gonna cover this while we do that. Okay, so Allison's got our mushrooms starting.
I've got a combination of your white button mushroom and then your cremini. I'm cutting them into quarters. Does that work for you?
Perfect.
Good.
And I'm gonna do some garlic over here. I'm gonna mince it. Now, if you don't want super powerful flavor, sometimes you can put them in whole or just slice them for less flavor. What we're gonna do now, we've gotta start the pasta. Throw that right in. Be careful while you're putting it in. Don't make the mistake of splashing it. I'm sure you already know.
I could
We've
do
all
this
been there.
part with my eyes closed.
Okay, good. So we're throwing in some beautiful tricolor bow tie pasta. Now these are looking great, and I really just want that chicken stock to cook out. And I'm gonna put them aside. Only a little bit of olive oil. We've got garlic. Would you like to throw our onions in here? We need help with that.
I think that's probably good. Yeah, looking good.
Why don't you give that a stir? We've got chili flakes right here. This is gonna rev up your metabolism a little bit. We like that. I'm gonna add some beautiful red peppers. You like red peppers?
I do. My daughter loves them.
Great. Then we've got some creminis and white button mushrooms going in here. So Allison chopped up some parsley. This again is adding another layer of flavor without adding any extra fat.
In general, too, when you're knocking out the oil and butter, always reach for herbs. Don't you do that, Candace?
Oh, absolutely. So I've got one more trick for you without adding any calories, and we're gonna add a little pasta water.
What does that do?
Think about the starch that's being released from all the pasta. And so what you wanna do is you wanna thicken up your sauce without extra calories, and this way we've replaced your heavy cream butter sauce. And also I want you to get your iron, so we've got some spinach. Let that reduce down. And you know, we don't like wilted leaves, so I kind of like to throw mine in at the very end.
Looks nice and thick, too.
Yeah, there is a sauce.
Love that. See that? Okay, our asparagus that we had in earlier.
Bright green and vivid still.
So what we were doing now is we're just cooking it a little bit more.
You want me to get a little cheese in the sauce?
Please,
Okay,
cheese.
A lot of cheese.
A lot of cheese? All right, you want to grab that parm?
Sure.
Do you use a fine grater at home?
I sometimes grate, and I very often get lazy and buy it already grated. I think if I actually had to work a little for my cheese, I would use less.
Look at how beautiful those bow ties are. Now we're gonna mix this all together.
Excellent. Look at those bright vegetables popping up over the pasta.
Very pretty. The
Good.
colors are nice. It's very festive looking.
So I have one little last treat. Allison's cut up some sun-dried tomatoes for us. I love sun-dried tomatoes. So let's go ahead and dig in.
It's really good. And I don't miss the cream. The sun-dried tomatoes and the asparagus kind of provide a distraction for me.
The best part
Great.
about this is your old pasta Primavera was 710 calories a serving.
Wow.
So we brought your calorie count down to 447 calories.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
it is. We didn't compromise on taste, did we?
At all. I like it a lot. It tastes very clean.
Good.
So you get to keep your pasta, you swap out the sauce.
Can't take
Great.
my pasta.
Alice is a pasta addict, so we showed her a low-cal pasta Primavera. Now, it's time to surprise her with a new twist on chicken parmesan.
So you've had already one of your pasta fixes for lunch. Now, I also have a pasta dish up my sleeve with a slight difference. Candace, do you want to start by making the tomato sauce? And I'm gonna take you over here. So chicken parmesan, which is usually served with pasta, I'm gonna show you there are other ways of creating comfort food that don't involve tons of carbs. So what I have here is an alternative version of pasta, which in fact is a zucchini. So
Instead of pasta?
yeah, now the trick is zucchini is a very, very versatile vegetable, not to mention incredibly good for you. And what I've decided to do is to cut them into very thin strips, so you have a sort of pappardelle effect, but from a zucchini.
So instead of pasta.
Exactly, instead of pasta, and you won't miss it.
I'm game. I'll try it.
Good, excellent, I like to hear it. Right, now, this machine is great for cutting vegetables very thinly. I call it a mandolin. So, top and tail the zucchini. How's it going over there, Candace?
Good. Would you like the basil now, too?
Yeah, I actually do. Put a sprig of basil in there.
Got it.
What I love is once you get going, you get a really good rhythm, and there we go. Now, beautiful ribbons. Now, Alice, the next thing to do is to put a tiny bit of olive oil into the bottom of the pan, and then we're just going to put these down flat.
So you're not actually frying them?
No,
Not
no,
deep
no.
frying?
And I tell you what, the most important thing about this is to make sure that you don't deep fry and you don't get too much colour, because you're going to get that lovely pasta effect. Replacing the pasta with vegetables in this dish is going to cut so many calories. It's really a very easy swap. This is all about clever swapping so that you don't miss out on your favourite things. Brilliant. Now that can just quietly do its own thing. Now if it does stick to the bottom of the pan, just put a tiny bit of water to release it.
So water's the answer.
Right.
Pour the oil in myself, but okay.
I'm just going to go and get the chicken from the fridge.
What is the exact motivation that you want, to lose the weight?
It's very important for me to be a good role model for my daughter,
Okay.
and I feel that children learn by watching behaviors.
You got it,
and if
they
I
do.
don't practice what I'm preaching, why should she have any good habits? So I'm hoping to have her develop very good habits for herself, but also for myself. I love clothing, and I can't fit into anything I have anymore. So
How depressing is that?
Very.
You know what I mean, I'm all for motivation, and that sounds like you've got plenty of it. Now then, we're going to do some breadcrumbing. Most people think I'm on a diet, I can't have breadcrumb, I can't have my favourite foods. Not here. Now, do you often breadcrumb things at home?
I do, with a lot more than that little bowl you had, a lot more.
Now, this is a good tip. Oftentimes, people breadcrumb with a whole egg. Cutting the calories means I'm just going to use the white of the egg, loosen it up, and on the other side of the plate, I'm going to put a mixture of breadcrumbs, which are whole wheat, and Parmesan cheese. There we go.
That.
A little bit of seasoning on there. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. There it is.
Okay.
So this first goes into the wet, okay, the chicken breast, and then into the dry, and I'm swapping hands. There we go. And in a second, when we've done all the breadcrumbs, it's very important to go and wash your hands because obviously raw chicken.
Bacteria.
Absolutely.
Eggs too.
Eggs too, quite. With the cheese and the breadcrumbs together, it makes it very, very crispy. And you're getting a real hit of cheese. It's not just about what you take out of your diet, it's also about what you put in. So by adding vegetables, you're also learning a whole nother way of cooking. You know, looking at food in a different way is also part of cooking yourself thin. The last part of this recipe is we're going to just quickly flip these chicken pieces into the oil. It's very important to have the crispy outside, so I am using a little bit of olive oil, but I'm not using as much olive oil as other people would because we are counting those calories. Go for it. Let's put them down. Thank you very much. I'm going to give them 4 minutes on the first side and about 2 or 3 on the other. They're very thin, so they shouldn't take too long. Are you looking forward to just being able to choose whatever you want to wear again?
I am, and having a baby changes
your shape.
Changes your shape a lot.
Of course it does.
Yeah, some people bounce right back. I bounced. I just kept bouncing. So it's tough.
And sometimes it's about breaking the habits that we already have in order to make a lifestyle change, you know? Now then, these are nearly there. What I love about these, they just look so naughty. It does, it looks like naughty food. It looks like takeout food, but it's not. It's homemade, and it's going to be so much better for you. Candice, why don't you just put some of that tomato sauce that's been reduced into the zucchini for me. We're going to give it just a little toss, and that's going to go onto the plate. So, tell you what.
Smells great.
Of course, there's absolutely no guilt because this isn't the regular pasta that you'd normally have.
It looks really good.
Let's have the parsley. Right, let's
just a little bit on top.
Get in. Yes, please. Just a little bit sprinkled over the top. Let's dig in, guys. Oof. Well, this chicken is beautifully cooked, though I say so myself.
Oh. What do you think?
It's really terrific. I don't think there's anything I would miss from the old way. This is still really flavorful.
Now, I'm going to shock you with some figures because your old chicken parm with pasta was 840 calories. This is now 350.
Wow, that's almost in half.
It certainly is.
That's really significant. It really is unbelievable.
Isn't this a delicious way to cook yourself thin?
It really is.
We've shown Alice some secrets for cutting the calories from her comforting favorites. Next up, oatmeal cookies so good, we think she deserves 2. Alice, we know you love your cookies.
I do.
So we've kept your pasta, and we want to keep your cookies too. Yeah?
Can't take my cookies.
No, no taking cookies. So I'd like to show you an oatmeal raisin cookie that's like nice and chewy. And what I'm gonna do is take out some of the butter and add in a special ingredient that'll really reduce the calories.
Sounds perfect.
Let's start putting together our wet ingredients.
Okay.
First, we've got a stick of butter, because you gotta have a little butter in your cookie. And would you hand me the sugar? We've got white and brown sugar. So brown sugar is a great ingredient. It already has molasses. And you know, sometimes if you have it in your cabinet for a while, it gets a little hard.
Yeah.
Do you know how to
refrigerator? No.
In the refrigerator?
Becomes a rock, I toss it.
We're gonna take back your brown sugar. What you can do is you can just put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. It'll soften it right up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now here's our super special ingredient. We're gonna use applesauce. You often will see applesauce in baking recipes because it's a great trade-off for butter.
The applesauce will also help combine the ingredients, won't it?
Oh yeah, it's gonna add a lot of moisture.
And it's also that chewy loveliness that you get from cookies, like proper chewy cookies.
So,
are those your favorites?
Any cookie works for me.
Let me put on the KitchenAid. We're gonna let this go for about 2 to 3 minutes. You can already see how much lighter in color it is, you know?
Yeah, it's very fluffy.
We are now officially ready for takeoff. We've got flour, baking soda, and cinnamon.
And now we've got our egg. That's easy to pour in. And low-fat milk. Go for it.
Going too fast?
No, you're going great.
Don't you just love baking cookies? It's sort of
I do. It's something I do with my daughter all the time, too, that we can do together. Yeah, and we're tasting all the way through. We're lucky if we end up with any cookies.
I know. So now we can pour in. You want to pour that all in. It all goes in at the same time. So when you bake, you want to assemble first the wet ingredients, then put in the flour. You got it. Towards the end. You can go ahead and add the oats and the raisins.
It's 6 of these little chaps going in. Now, the cool thing about oats is that they are a slow-release energy, so it keeps you fuller for longer. So you think, oh, I'm just having a cookie, how naughty of me. But actually, you're filling yourself up for a couple of hours. So this is quite a good tip as well to remember.
I'd say that's just about done.
Moist. It doesn't look dry or crumbly.
Are we ready to start putting them down on the trays? Because this is the bit I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. In this recipe, we're using parchment paper. Do you bake with parchment paper?
I haven't, no.
Okay, good. Well, let me introduce you to parchment paper. Instead of spraying it with spray, you just put the parchment paper down, put the cookies right on top of it, and then you have a lot less cleaning and less fat.
No added calories.
This recipe is going to make about 20 cookies. Here, you want to give it a go?
Better, sure.
Give it a try.
Now, the scoop is a good idea as well because of portion control, you see.
Absolutely.
So you will not be able to put too much in with that. Here we go. Okay, shall I go ahead and put a tray in?
Go for it. And we already preheated the oven to 350. Well done. They're going to be massive cookies.
They are. I'm looking forward to them. Right now.
Oh, they smell so good.
They do.
Oh, they smell so good. I can't wait to get in. Right. Ooh, yum. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I'm very, very impatient for this.
Ooh, nice and chewy.
Really good. They're really, really good.
That can't possibly be low fat. I don't believe it.
Right? Now, here's the good news. Are you ready? We're gonna do a little
ready.
calorie rundown. So your old cookie, 480 calories. The new cookie is 117 calories. So you can actually have 2.
Amazing, and it's
Right?
delicious.
That is insane. Gosh, how amazing. They are so good. I love them. That is just so delicious.
I could live with this. Really, really good.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Alice. We brought you a beautiful basket.
Oh, thank you.
This is gonna absolutely contain everything to help you cook yourself thin.
And here's the Cook Yourself Thin cookbook with even more recipes to help you drop a dress size.
Great, so no more excuses for me, huh?
Pretty much.
No, and
The old total of your favorites was 2,270 calories. Now we brought that number all the way down
to about 1,030 calories.
That's it.
That's right within what my calculation
Yes,
was.
exactly.
That works, that's
Under.
amazing.
now we're going to see you in 6 weeks' time when we know that you will have dropped a dress size and cooked yourself thin. Are
Oh,
you?
the pressure, yeah.
The pressure is on.
I think I'm well armed now and prepared, yes.
Excellent. 6 weeks ago, we showed Alice better ways to take care of herself and her family by cutting the calories from her pasta Primavera, chicken parmesan, and oatmeal cookies. Think she's dropped a dress size?
Alice, come on in, guys. Have a seat. I'll be right out.
Okay. This looks good.
This is comfy.
Hey, brilliant. Where is Alice? Alice?
Wow. Alice, where are you?
Ooh!
Oh, there we
Hello! You look great, Alice. Hi.
Do a turn for us. I want to see how fabulous you look.
Hello.
Alice. You look so great. Why don't you come and tell us how you've been getting along?
I'll have a seat, thanks.
I love it. Why don't you come and sit in your own home? We've made ourselves at home completely. I hope you don't mind.
I'm wearing a size smaller.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
What have you taken home that's worked for you?
The choices I make when I shop are much better. I'm picking fruits and vegetables, more lean meats and proteins, and keeping you all on my left shoulder when I shop.
So delighted to hear you say that. We're very flattered, really.
In just 6 weeks, Alice went from a size 12 to a size 10. Now that's cooking yourself thin.
What other changes have you made?
I would say my portion size. I haven't let go of pasta, but I've cut down the amounts and thrown in more vegetables to spread out the love, so to speak, and I eat a little less
Well, you're
pasta.
spreading that love to your daughter, too, as well.
Yes, she enjoys cooking and preparing with me. We made pasta Primavera together. And we went through each vegetable, and she wanted to know which vitamins were more rich and others. Yes, she's very aware.
And in terms of how you feel, Alice, do you find that you feel happier?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm doing everybody a favor.
So do you think that this is a lifestyle that you can continue? And you can be totally honest, we want to know.
Absolutely. knowing how good I feel now, it would be hard to go back.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for having us here.
My pleasure.
We'll be on your shoulder at the grocery store.
Absolutely.
All right.
Congratulations, Alice.
Thank you.